Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I would recommend Angel Care to anybody. They have really helped me regain my strength.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
I couldn't have survived this without Angels Care.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our producer, Jeff DeRaw. We're at Rary Hall on the campus of Fort Hays State University, second floor, and new offices for Fort Hays State President Emeritus, Dr. Ed Hammond. Is it Professor Hammond yet?
Yes.
Officially now.
Well, it's been Professor Hammond for almost all the time I've been here. I've had professorial rank, so I've just retreated to the faculty and am enjoying every minute of it.
Well, that's good to hear. You have designed a couple of courses. Is the professorship part of it, right?
Well, yes. We created a HESA program, Higher Education and Student Affairs, It was basically a face-to-face on-campus program up until this last year. And one of the things I did this last year was to take it virtual. So we've gone from 20 to 25 students on campus to 75 students. And the difference is the virtual students are all over the country. We've got students in California and Florida and New York and all over Kansas. A lot of people who are working at KCAC schools like Kansas Wesleyan, Bethany, McPherson College, and the community colleges who need to get a master's degree in order to advance are taking advantage of this opportunity. So that program had only face-to-face classes, so this last year we migrated those face-to-face classes to virtual. So I designed a course for the higher education law class that's being offered this semester online, and then I designed a course for assessment and evaluation. So those are the two courses that I worked on last spring and still working on them because they're just now rolling out this semester.
Wow, that virtual college that was the original Hammond plan has really paid dividends with, 25 students expanding to 75 automatically just with the virtual college option.
Well, and we could really take more, except we don't have the faculty. But Dr. Martin, President Martin, has agreed to hire a full-time faculty member now because going forward after the sabbatical year, I'm just going to be part-time teaching a couple of courses. So we need to get somebody else if we're going to continue to grow this program. And our department, AEP, right now is producing over 50% of all of the graduate credit at the university. So it's a very, very important department to our graduate education initiative. And a lot of the programs in AEP are growing, very much like HESA is growing. But it was fun. I enjoyed it, because building a course, you have to design it. Then you have to develop your PowerPoint presentations that just like if you'd be teaching it in class. So you have PowerPoints for each component of the text and the course material. And then I did VoiceThread lectures so that the students can actually listen to, as they look at the PowerPoints, they can actually listen to me talk about what's the material, what the concepts are. And then designing the assessment tools and the exams. That kind of thing I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Busy time though. My goodness.
Well, yeah, but it's. I knew when I retired from the presidency that I wouldn't just go spend all my time playing golf, and so the first year, I was involved in the transition and some fundraising and this project, the HESA project. But now, from this point on, starting in July, I'm basically just a faculty member, which is what I want to do, and work with students to help make them successful. So I've got about 70 some advisees, and I'm spending some time with them. While I'm on sabbatical, I'm not technically teaching any courses, but I still have to advise them. And then I've got those students taking practicum experiences all over the country, which has been helpful because we've got 2 students in Tampa, Florida, and I know the vice president at South Florida very well, University of South Florida. So I called Tom up and I said, Tom, you know, I've got these 2 students. Is there a way we can get a good practicum experience for them? And they're helping. We had students at University of Virginia this summer doing practicum, and I've got students at USC and UCLA. So some of the contacts I've made over the years have been very helpful for our students because we've been able to get them good practicum experiences.
So, Professor Hammond, how are students going to be able to apply the coursework that they're doing as far as a practical application for a career or for their jobs?
Well, graduating from this program will prepare you for higher education administration and particularly student affairs work. So they're going into registration, financial aids, career planning and placement, you know, specialty programs like CAMS, student discipline, Greek affairs, all of those kind of areas in the student affairs function of a university, I think, are ideally suited for graduates of this program.
So now on sabbatical, you mentioned designing the coursework and such, and here I thought maybe you'd you know, spend all your time on the Smoky Hill Country Club course, but no, you get on a plane and go to Thailand and Nashville.
Well, I'm still busy with some other things. My fraternity, I'm still very active in. I'm chairman of the foundation board, fundraising board for them. So I'm raising money for them from all around the country. And that's what had me in Nashville. Thailand, I was a speaker at the Association of Asian Pacific University Presidents. And so we had 91 presidents from all over the Asian Pacific area, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, China, both national and mainland China, Japan, India. And so I had the opportunity, they wanted me to come talk with them about international education, and I did. And Mary and I took the opportunity to take some time on the front end to go visit parts of Thailand that we hadn't. You know, we were in Bangkok our last part of our trip, and now, of course, we've had 2 terrorist attacks there.
I was going to ask you
since
about
we
that.
got back. So
government
unrest. I
and-
felt no, that I think it's I don't know what's behind that, but we felt very, very safe, and the people there are very friendly and very happy. We never felt. It would have been one of the last places in the world I would have expected that. But I think that's the world we live in. You know, there's a certain element in our society, our worldwide society right now, that's trying to shock people. And so, and I think there's a religious motivation maybe behind the attack because it occurred at a religious facility. Next door to one of the major Western hotels, not the one we stayed in, but it was, so it was a little bit shocking.
Is there a connection eventually coming between Thailand and Fort Hays State, or an outreach that would expand beyond China, you think, in the future?
Well, that decision's going to be, Dr. Martin's call, and Graham, the provost, and Cindy Elliott and her team will have to look at that. I did develop some materials and some opportunities, but they'll have to evaluate whether or not they're right for us. But my primary reason there is I was on the board of AAU. It was my last meeting on the board. They were wanting me to be there to be a speaker. So my primary reason wasn't there to develop contacts for Fort Hays, but I'm always selling Fort Hays when I can.
Oh, absolutely. You are still heading one of 3 commissions for the North American Interfraternity Council, and the one that you are most involved with, associated with, is the one on alcohol abuse among fraternities.
Right.
Something that you have championed as far as looking at studies and such for a long, long time.
Yeah, the issue of alcohol abuse and misuse on the college campus has tremendous impact on academic performance, graduation rates. So it's been a concern I've had for almost all my higher education career. And this commission is wrapping up now. We're getting ready to be issuing our final report here next month. And I think it's going to be an opportunity to maybe open a discussion about something that's really important, and that is alcohol-free fraternity houses. You know, I think one of the recommendations that we'll be making will be to recommend that all fraternities, not any one particular fraternity, but all fraternities, that all their houses be alcohol-free. And the rationale behind that is that over 91%, almost 92% of all the students living in fraternity houses are underage. They're not supposed to be drinking anyway. The alcohol problems are responsible for more than 50% of all the insurance issues that we deal with. So if we're able to remove alcohol from the houses, they could still have parties with alcohol, but not in their houses. We could save, we've had testimony before the commission that we could save anywhere from 40 to 60% of our premiums, which would really change the economics of operating a fraternity. And then it's just the safety and the academic performance issues. Everything shows that if we're able to make this rather bold recommendation, and if all the fraternities, there's 70-some national fraternities, if all the fraternities were to adopt this, we could change really, I believe, the environment of Greek life on the college campus. So I'm hopeful that the commission will come up with that kind of recommendation. We've had very good testimony. We've been taking testimony for over a year from experts and in all sides of the discussion, and we'll see what happens.
And finally, since you still have an hour or two left in the day, there's Team Kansas, formerly the Kansas Cavalry, which you've signed on to. What's Team Kansas?
Well, the governor and Pat George, who was Secretary of Commerce at the time, he's now stepped down, approached me about whether I'd be president of Team Kansas. Team Kansas is a quasi-private, public-private partnership to try to recruit business opportunities for the state. And we need more jobs in Kansas, and we need more businesses to move to Kansas. And so I was very happy to provide whatever leadership I could for that. I'm working right now on a couple of opportunities having to do with China's interest to get into aviation. So we're working with a major company in Wichita that could be $50 to $60 million project. And I'm working with a company right here in Hayes with Rands Corporation that could be anywhere from $5 to $10 million project. So if we can develop those kind of partnerships to expand business opportunities for existing businesses and to attract new businesses to the state, hopefully our economy will improve.
Professor Ed Hammond from Fort Hays State University, our community connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.